Well, now there, well, once again, it's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video, making this one real quick, just about the test of patience. I really got to start carving out time to really delve into these various topics because they're so interconnected and intricate. But just overall personal life, the Most High always seem to make me wait. But it's actually, and of course, in this Babylonian construct, instant gratification, materialism, the outward dawning of, what they present to you as success, so on and so forth. But even to this point of where I'm at, um, it was in the waiting that all the internal attributes I now possess and utilize to navigate through society successfully, whether it's interpersonally, job, finance, any aspect of anything outside of me, has all been honed and reinforced and forged in patience, critical thought, resourcefulness, mental strength, emotional stoicism, self worth, faith, endurance. I think that's in the word. Well, I know it's in the word. I might be uh, misparaphrasing, but it was saying something to the effect of having patience. And once patience has completed its full work, you'll be complete, lacking nothing. Now, of course, I definitely want to get to a certain financial level before the whole thing comes crashing down. Be able to use the fake fiat currency to obtain tangible resources I can put my hands on, land, gold, weaponry, you know what I'm saying? The things you actually need for life to sustain life. Um, but I don't really. Of course, I desire things, but I'm actually whole. Um, in the sense, well, I'm whole. Of course, I strive for better, to do more, be more efficient, but I don't lack anything. I always got what I need. And it's in the waiting which has increased the faith of showing his ability to sustain me. In previous seasons, it was more like circumstantial when I made bad decisions. Yeah, you're going to feel the consequence of this, but you're not going to get the full brunt of it. Like I've never been to prison, even though from 18 to 25, I had a hellacious record. Um, you know what I mean? But I've never been to prison. Um, you know, various relapses on various different drugs, find myself homeless, but I always manage to find myself or be led to safety where I'm not like in the street where everybody can see me. You know what I'm saying? Like he always hid me away. Even in certain times, it's like he almost keeps me on the bench. But of course, I'm ready to get in the game and get jiggy. But it's from sitting on the bench and seeing how the game is played. I have a better idea of what to do when I get in the game and what the defense is going to attempt to do because I'm not actually in the game. I'm observing the game from the outside as a player. You know what I mean? Um, there's actually the blessing, and I'm saying this, outwardly to whoever may listen, but to myself as well. The blessing is in the waiting. I've seen, earlier on in my journey of sobriety, I've seen people come out of prison rather, and shoot past me, but I'm in society and I'm actually trying to upgrade my skill set. I'm trying to do this. And I'm like, how the, how, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, well, who's he connected to? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of by myself at the time. But all now, up to this point, all these people are back in jail. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not that I wish that on anybody, but because they couldn't wait, they started doing things to get back to where they were that ultimately put them back where they were. You know what I'm saying? That kind of slow and steady wins the race. The kind of the Nipsey joint of it being a marathon and not a sprint. You know what I'm saying? Even at certain times, like I'll pace myself, but then like let's say it's a couple minutes before halftime, like I'll hit a flurry then. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I already know I'm gonna sit back down for halftime. You know what I'm saying? Just using a basketball analogy. Um, And then I've also learned this, a greater level of faith. And I also, like, everything isn't what you see, like, everything isn't as it appears. Like, certain things that I desire, let's say career wise, financially wise, being privy to peer behind the veil, I don't want it like that. Well, how they got it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm good on that. You know, the patience has taught me, um, the patience has taught me to value me. Now, from being isolated or, um, you know, living a very minimalistic lifestyle by because of circumstantially, now I'm able to do more with less. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually able to take the little I have in comparison to someone else and maximize it, because now it's taught me to value it, not overvalue it, but value it to the degree of being a good steward over it. Actually, patience taught me stewardship. You know what I mean? Whether it be, my domain where I live at, financially, people in my life. It's also given me the ability, because now I've been by myself so long, that if, you become a detrimental, figure in my life, I cut you off. Because it took out codependency socially. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own counselor now. Other than the Most High, of course. You know what I'm saying? And I see now, all those years back then, when those circumstances were actually creating that attribute, the benefit to it now, where everyone's codependent, everyone's attention seeking, everyone's peacocking. No one has any depth. And I'm just making generality statements. You know what I'm saying? I actually, during my journey one time, again, back to just things not making sense and why, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but nothing's coming to fruition. Or when it does, it falls apart mysteriously. It also taught me how to deal with disappointment. Now it don't even fade me. It's like asking a duck what it's like to be in water. Not that I'm just used to disappointment and expect it, but when it comes, I quickly shift out of it into the next thing. But and I think he had sent this just for me, right? I think I was Googling something, or somebody had sent me something, and I'm in this space of, now it had been years without any kind of just regular, like a job. Like, I went years without a job, even though I was applying and getting my record expunged. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even like socially, as far as just meeting, decent people, that was very barren. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's happening? Like, this don't make no sense. Am I doing something wrong? I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But certain stuff I just don't feel led to do. You know what I'm saying? So I came across this article, or it's a YouTube video, I can't remember, about a guy. It was, and it was about the same. In this video, I'm gonna say it's a video. It was about the same thing, like not seeing any signs and just, seed caterpillar type analogies, right? And I'm like, yeah, I heard all that before. But I'm a truth seeker, right? So I'm a firm believer. If you don't know the truth, if you're seeking the truth, you should know the truth when you hear it. Almost similar to the Most High saying, "My sheep know my voice," right? And he was describing, I think, a bonsai tree. I want to say it was a bonsai tree, or I think it was a bonsai tree, like one of them Japanese trees or something, right? But he talks about, if you take a bonsai seed and plant it. Now, my numbers are off, but I'm just using it as an analogy, so you'll catch my drift. He was like, if you plant a bonsai tree, it doesn't crack the surface for like 3 years. But once it does crack the surface, it grows to like 9 feet in like 3 weeks or something crazy, right? And he was basically making the articulation of how being buried, you're not seen, it's dark, and that was kind of the space I was in. But in due season, based on the type of seed you are, once you do crack the surface, your rise is meteoric. Because the seed, I don't know if this is true, but I'm assuming, the seed actually grows down before it comes up, before the plant comes up, so that it's fully rooted. And that's how it felt. It felt like I was going down or backwards before any come up. But now, when I had, excuse me, let's say any type of visual breakthrough, which for me at that time would have been just a job. I became a superstar at the job. Not because I was trying to, but because of my foundation built in the darkness, I outworked everybody. Because I had done all this inner work or shadow work on myself, I seen everything else clearer. So if I end up put in leadership, even though I don't care nothing about titles, you know what I mean? Um, I had made plans to do certain things, but then when I had a regular job, which wasn't paying nothing, it was just a regular job, and I like going and whatever, I was able to then facilitate all the things that I utilize now as far as credit, uh, financial resources that have sustained me, even though I haven't worked. What I've only worked 3 months in the last in the last year, but I ain't stressing about nothing. And in the time where I don't know how I'm going to pay this, some opportunity comes through, or you know what I mean. So even in the waiting, I think how do we go from glory to glory, faith to faith? I think that in this season, He's teaching me greater faith because the curriculum of greater faith will serve me whenever I'm going to the next quote unquote level that He will have me. Because I'm gonna have to have the experience mentally of Him sustaining me. You see what I'm saying? And with that one, I'ma holler at y'all. Wah!